Hello everyone. Today we are going to be playing a fun 4-color deck. This is a deck from the first Magic Fest Online weekend. That was about 2 weeks ago, I think, or last week. This was played by a player named Bolin Zhang. It's called 4-color control. I'd like to call it 4-color Super Friends. So essentially, let's go through the deck before we get there. So essentially, this deck is as per control, almost as per Super Friends, you could call it. But there is this spicy add of red color, and it's solely for Nicol Bolas Dragon God. Okay, and this is more like a tapped out control, the traditional tapped out control. So we have a lot of discards like Duress, Agonizing Remorse, Thought Erasure, and this deck is heavily geared against aggro decks. So we have two main deck: Cry of the Carnarium, Oath of Kaya, and if we go to our sideboard, we also bring in this figure, Devout Decree, two more Cry of the Carnarium, and Ritual of Suit. Now, Ritual of Suit is in here because most of the creatures in the current meta are under 4 CMC or 3 CMC or under. So it essentially is better than Kaya's Wrath because of the monocolor, just requirement of 2 black as opposed to 2 black and 2 white. And this sideboard is actually slightly different from what Bolin played. We added in Leyline of the Void because I've noticed a lot of Rakdos sacrifice decks being played around, so this is essentially to shut them down, but it's also good against most of the band decks or Sultai decks that rely on Uro and a lot of the graveyard synergies, so it's all around a very good utility card right now, I think, against most of the decks that's being played in Standard. So without further ado, I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of the cards we're playing. We have Narset, we have Teferi, we have Liliana, which is like the ultimate top end, as well as our Nicol Bolas, which is a top end. Allspeth Conquers Death is really good because it helps us to get rid of their threats and then bring back our threats. And Atris is just a good value card that brings us a lot of cards. Okay, so let's give this a spin. So Joao Paulo Godoy. We got to be on the play, which is great. Okay, I can dig this. We have the right colors. We don't have a lot of early plays, but we have Remorse into Narset, which can be good, and Liliana. And also we have a Temple to begin with, which gives us Scry. I think red lands are hard to come by, and a land at this point, because we have Narset, isn't too bad. We'll keep it on top. Okay. I'm gonna shock this in. Well, actually not. I'm not going to. Ooh. So to me, this appears to be some sort of life gain deck. So we have Daxos, and then we have Bloodthirst Arcane Aerialists that can gain lives. I think getting rid of Daxos is a good starting point. Because these by themselves are just 2-3 flyers because they can't gain lives by themselves. Evolving Wild, slowing them down a little bit. I think the plan is to get a swamp for them here. They're probably going to end up playing Plains there. Or I'll see it. Okay. So we'll need our... Cry won't do much here. So our first game is going to be really rough against them. Like, I can see our first game is going to be really rough against them because the only thing we can do is timely Oath of Kaya before they can actually king counters. That's really about it. Either that or we just have, you know, Nicol Bolas killing it, Lily killing it. Nonetheless, it's not an easy battle, so. Luckily, ooh, really interesting. I'm actually gonna play Thought Erasure. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of the second one. Instead of playing Atris right away, we'll get rid of the second one, and then we'll bounce back. You can play Teferi, bounce it, but then Teferi will die. He'll get to play it again anyways. You can play Atris, block it for a turn. This will become, because they'll play Scarred Baron, this will become a 4-5 regardless. I think this will be good. That said, we are going to go down fairly low in terms of our lives. Alciad will not be attacking us. That's almost guaranteed. Oh, that's just fine, I think. So they're probably going to play their second one, and then Scoured Baron. Or they'll play Heliod. Interesting. That is actually very interesting. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. I think what we need to do is actually bounce back Heliod. No, Heliod is not a creature right now. So I'm actually going to bounce back that. Play this. Take over their Daxos. Like I said, this matchup's gonna be much better once we hit that. So we can do one or two. We can bounce back Heliod, take that away, or we can just do Lily. Yeah, we'll do Liliana, because Heliod by himself isn't that big of a deal right now. Unless, because they don't have, as far as I know, any sort of, this deck should not have any sort of haste creatures. And without a creature, Heliod doesn't do that much. Duress seems pretty weak though. And if they play that, and if that's the only thing they play, okay. I think this is absolutely fine for us. What we're going to do now is kill this thing. Plus that. Let them draw. Little Thought Erasure. Yep. So that one's good. And ECD, fine. We don't even have to bounce back Heliod anymore, right? At this point, we don't even have to bounce back Heliod because we can just ECD Heliod. So this is perfect, and then we can Agonizing Remorse something else. And we'll just trade it off. They'll gain a life, which is fine. Okay, and we'll just be creating our, from now on, we'll just hit all our value engines. We'll plus this as well. And then we'll just do ECD on Heliod. Play our land. And we'll do upkeep Agonizing Remorse. Hope it's not a land. It's just a, okay. I mean, if that's the case, we'll just take away. That's unfortunate, it was just a land. Is there anything in the graveyard we want to bring back? Maybe Atris, actually? So maybe we're actually not gonna... We're not gonna actually bounce this back because we want to bring back Atris. Maybe. That's fine. Atris is always value anyways. Yikes. But I mean, we have all these different CMCs, right? 1's 5, 1's 6. Which one are you going to go for? And they can't even really get there. So, I mean, I think at this point we have it in the bag. We're not too worried about it. Opponent's thinking, what's the number? And they figured the number is 4 or 3. I mean, that's the max they can do anyways, right? Archers just gives us so many different options. It makes it very difficult for our opponent to make a decision. It's really interesting though, they gave us 2. I'll take 2. We'll play Temple. ECD is always good. Create more zombies. Gain more value. I'm gonna bounce nothing just to get more card. It's okay. End of turn, we'll just actually ditch a land and dress. Like, I think at this point they should probably realize there's no way out. Yep. So that's interesting, right? It's a life gain deck. Surprisingly, because of this, I imagine they have, I mean, Daxos is Daxos, but I also imagine they have, what's it called? A Johnny's Pridemate too. But again, I don't think Cry is gonna quite hit them. For the most part, I think their big threats are the Flyers. Devout Decree comes in. Cry, I think I'm actually gonna take out because of its weakness. Dress is probably weak against their deck as well. These are all good. ECD, even though it doesn't have a lot of targets, it has the biggest target in Heliod, so I think I'll skip it in. Other spells probably unnecessary. Remorse is probably unnecessary to an extent. I think we can cut down on one more Narset and add in 2 disfigures. And I think we should be good. I think Ritual is going to be really big in this matchup. Cry unfortunately won't hit a lot. Because their whole synergy is they gain more counters and they get bigger. This figure is still coming in for creatures like Alciad, basically, or even Pridemate if they before they gain life or before they count the counter. This seems okay, not the best, but doable. We do need a gas though. We need some sort of an engine, but this will help us survive for a bit. Thought Eraser is okay. Pridemate is hard. I think being on the play with Pridemate, we're going to be in a bit of an issue. Banishing Light, we're not too worried about Banishing Light right now. We're not even too worried about Planar Cleansing right now. One more Pridemate, I think, is what we're worried about. I don't think we need to land. So next turn, at least, what we can do is take care of Alciad. So this will stop 5. 5 is still a lot. Five is still a lot, but we need to do it. If they sacked it, I think we'd not, like, we wouldn't have gained life anyways, but Bloodthirst is okay at this point. Let's see, what can we get? Teferi. Teferi is good. Teferi is good because it helps us to reset. In which case, we'll just play this. Banishing Light we're not too concerned about because we can ECD it. I'd be more concerned about Planar Cleansing, but that actually takes care of their things too, so a lot of hope. Gain 2, which is actually really big. So we have to slow them down a little bit. Okay, that's not bad, that's not bad. Okay, C3 Cs are really bad right now, right? But we have to do this. Oh, no, we have to do this. We have to do it like this. So we do Oath of Kaya. Get rid of the Pride Maid. Okay, might actually Banishing Light the Oath of Kaya. The problem right now is we have all these. They're gonna draw a card. Healer's Hawk is fine. Let's get rid of this first. I'm gonna actually bring in Health Fountain because we need our 4th blue source anyways. Johnny's Pride Maid. Dawn of Hope, Cleanar. I feel like I'm okay with Planar Cleansing. Dawn of Hope. This is an odd choice. I'll tell you why. Because if they have a land, they will be able to play this. But that would mean we would be able to bring back our Teferi, okay? One more Pride Maid, okay. This now really feels bad. Now we really need that ritual, right? If we don't hit that ritual, we're in a rough ride. 2, 3, 4. As long as we hit ritual, we can hit everything. If we don't hit Ritual here, then we're dead. Yep, we're dead. Because we can get rid of that, but we're still dead on board, okay? So 3 ECDs have been really bad for us. I mean, we still have disfigures. I mean, 3 ECDs. What are the odds, right? We only have 3 ECDs in the entire deck, and we drew all 3 of them. 2 Cries can still work, I think. Well, being on the play, I think, makes a big difference. I think this is actually fine. Because they do have a lot of 1/1s that are actually the enablers, but like we weren't able to pick out any of our key cards, right? Like if we could pick out our Bolas, they would have played Banishing Light. We would have ended up playing Allspath Conquers Death on Banishing Light, right? But we never did. We never picked up our threats, so to say. Okay, this one feels better. Temple of Deceit is good. I do need lands. I do need lands. One Healer's Hawk, I'm not too worried about. Do I want a Thought Eraser right now? No, let's wait. Narset is good too. Though we most likely won't go for her right away. Johnny's Pridemate? Oh, Vampire. Now this is getting really interesting. And I wish I'd brought in my... Atris is good. Yeah, I really wish I... Now I do feel like I should have brought in Cry the Carnarium, because this would have just wiped the whole thing. What do we take care of here? This. I was really hoping for that Pridemate, but it's okay. We need our lands. We need our double lands, that's for sure. If they're giving me Godless Shrine and Teferi, this to me seems like Ritual Absurd, okay? Or another Teferi, okay. So next turn I think I would still go for Devout Decree, I think. Draw 2. Shock, gain 1. That can come in. That's not an issue. No blocks. I'm just gonna keep plussing. I'm just gonna keep plussing because things on board are not gonna affect me that much. Like those 3 are never gonna kill Nicol Bolas in time. That's fine. I don't know why they're not swinging with Healer's Hawk, to be honest. It's okay. It's just more value for us anyways. And they'll need to get rid of something. They need to pay 1. And we'll be able to play Teferi next turn. Or Narset next turn, so they can't actually gain more lives. Banishing Light on Bolas again. This is actually perfect. They get to draw a card, which is fine. I think we're in for a long ride, right? Ritual or Bolas? At this point, I'd say Bolas. One thing, that's fine, that's great. I'm actually gonna do this now anyways, so we don't have to worry about it. We can start swinging into Healer's Hawk. Ooh, Wax. I mean, they need to start getting rid of things, right? It's a permanent. Nice, nice. That's a permanent, alright. Another Banishing Light? Wow. Dude, wow. That is the second Banishing Light. Unfortunately, you're not going to draw a card, but you can pay 2. Right? We can bring in Lily, or we can bring in ECD. I would say ECD. So in this case, what we're going to do is going to cast this first, kill this thing. Look for a card. This figure works. We're gonna ECD. Take care of one of the Banishing Lights. Bring back Bolas. They'll probably create a creature. Sack that, which means we can swing in. I think this game is taking a lot longer than it should. But so it is. They can constantly exile the token. Right, they can constantly create a token, exile it, but then I'll be swinging in for 3 every turn. Interesting. I'd actually keep this, so I can do it one more time. I mean, one more Bolas doesn't hurt, just in case. Like I said, this game is taking a lot longer than it should. I think we can bring back Teferi. +1/+1 or loyalty. We can bounce back Dawn of Hope. They can make it twice actually. Nice. I think we're just gonna win off of this Atris anyways. Lily's gonna be good. I'm gonna do this anyways for more damage. Because at some point they will pick up their planar cleansing, right? And we'll be in a big trouble. This thing will gain them life too. Which in itself is an issue, but it's okay. That's our third oath of Kaya though, right? One, two, three. Okay. That was a very interesting. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Okay, that was a very long drawn out game, but we won. I think we should have. Game number 2, going up against Meth. This is a terrible hand. Also bad. This one's doable. We'll pitch this. Might have to pitch this too. Pitch one of the temples actually. That's really bad. So we specifically need to look for Cry here. Mono red is going to be bad for us no matter what, but let's give this a shot. Okay. I mean, light up the stage. Probably no temple for us. Land, that's fine. We need to make sure. So this way, even if they have a land, I mean, if they had a land, they still couldn't do it, but this way they can shock it and then do 3 to them. 1, yep. there goes Atris. Well, Atris isn't really going to help us here. And this is exactly the card we needed. History Dodger is still nice though. Okay, I mean, this is the best we can do right now. Just get rid of Embercleave. They can play Altruist, which is really bad. They might take the robber. It's guaranteed game over. They didn't. This is really feels bad moment. But we have to do this. So here's hoping they don't have a robber. Because they didn't choose it. Okay. Nice. Land. We might have stabilized this. I mean, anything they pick up next turn, they're going to play anyways. So we do this for scry value, which is fine. Narset is fine, I think. Well, I mean, the only card they couldn't play would be Embercleave, right? So unless this is Embercleave, it's a land. It's a land, right? So this one's going to be a tough matchup for us. I mean, we bring in everything we can. Disfigure, Cry, Ritual. This park maybe because of Torben and Embercleave. That's about it though. ECD is still good, even though it's slow. Dress I think goes. Agonizing Remorse can go. Elder Spell goes. Oath of Kai is good. Teferi is good. Atris is somewhat slow. Lily is okay. I think we can cut down on Nicol Bolas and Elspeth. Conquers Death. And even 2 of Narsets. Because everything we play needs to be card value, right? This one feels completely fine to me. We have Ritual and Cry. We just need a source of white. So we can play Devout Decree and then even one more white, and then we can play Elspeth Conquers Death, right? I mean, we'll keep it on top. If they play Robber, not much we can do about it. They just take away a land. Okay. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, I could have used that temple, but it is what it is. Temple's fine. So here's hoping there's no robber again. 10th Street is fine. I can use more lands, though that's not the right land, I don't think. There's an Embercleave, okay. Infuriate. That's game? No? Nope, nope, nope. So Runaway Stimkin, which is fine. We can ECD the Embercleave now? Uh-oh. Maybe we should take away the Embercleave. So that's game now, right? Yep. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, but I mean, I think I should have cried the turn before so they couldn't actually Embercleave, right? Yeah. I think that was a misplay for me to save up my cry. Yeah. Knowing that I already had Ritual on board anyway, in my hand anyways, I should have just used it. Here's hoping we get more lands after. Sports Spitter's fine. Runaway Stimkin. Nicol Bolas can go to the graveyard. Because we know black source. If we get our black source and then interplanar beacon, we might be able to stabilize. Otherwise, it might be really tough for us. Like, we might be in a rough ride here. Why we can't even use Oath of Kaya, and we did it anyways. Huh, this is rough. And they'll have Embercleave here too, no? See, that was unnecessarily shocking things in, right? That was actually a really nice play. Yep, that's game. I think it's really unfortunate, but we never hit our black source, so that was a tough matchup. I mean, mono red is, again, have all the cards for it, but it's really hard matchup. So there we go. I'm gonna actually give this a try because we have a Scry land and everything else. Lily is fine. So this is another matchup where we really need that. This is where we really need that cry. That's not gonna do. If they sack this in response, we don't get a card, but that's okay. We'll just let it be. So this is going to be a really tough matchup for us, right? Like a really tough matchup for us. One has Cry. Cry at this point won't do much against them, so we have to go for this. ACD is fine. We'll get rid of Ajani. The Owl is fine too. It's an interesting pickup. Like this is a matchup where we just have no end, right? So they'll have to go for this Teferi, I think. Or they might not. They might just go for this and then this could be it. Yep. So like mono white is a really, like mono white isn't really seen around, but it's a really, really tough matchup for us. Ritual is sort of like the only way we can get around things. Disfigure can work. The rest doesn't do much. Other spell, not really. Remorse. UCD even like doesn't do much. So we need to make sure we can land that ritual, and then we should be okay. But otherwise, because of the life gain, it's really hard for us to get rid of their creatures. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this. We need a land though. We have a bunch of Surveil's Cry cards. We should be okay, I think. Anything that's not a land, we Surveil down. Right? That's good. It's absolutely fine. So I think this is when we just ritual. I'll trigger anyways. So here's to hoping they don't pick up anything of value this turn, right? Wow. Whiff. We whiffed. We whiffed on a land and on something else. Shadow Spear. Banishing Light. I'm not too worried about Banishing Light, I think. Now we're really missing that land. Linden's fine. Really do need those lands though. Banishing Light, okay. Okay. So I think I mean that's what we had to do. UCD is okay, I think. Octrace is pretty weak actually. I'm not gonna completely take out Cries, but not the best thing either. It will come handy. It will come handy eventually. Like this is unplayable, right? This is better. This is better. We still need our black source though. There's our second black source, that's fine. That's what we need to do. One. This is just getting better and better. I think we have a pretty good hand. I think that's fine. Shadow Spear's fine. I'm actually just gonna ritual here. It's about card advantage, right? What is this? Gideon's Company? Whenever you gain life, put +2/+2. That is such a cool card. It's also 4 CMC, so we can't really get rid of it. Whenever you gain life, this can become an issue. Another Gideon's Company. We have Nicol Bolas and something else. What could that other thing be? Lily, okay. That's actually really bad. That is an issue. That really is an issue because we can't play Nicol Bolas here. Lily. Well, they had two Nicol Bolas. That one card must have been really good. It was Lily. Huh. Interesting. We might be in for a rough ride here. They picked up two Gideon's company in a row. Ritual doesn't even kill that. They'll sack that, which is fine. Yep, we expected as much. It's the moment of truth. See, I mean ECD, actually. Huh. I messed up. I should have gotten an ECD. Put it on Gideon's company, and then that's where it would have gone from there, but it's a big mess up. That was actually a big mistake on my end. Like a big mistake. It's good. It's absolutely gold. Absolutely gold. We'll trade. If they opt to fight, we'll trade. What do you think? At this point, I'm just gonna plus anyways. Because next turn we'll bring in Lily. Next turn we'll bring back in Lily, which should give us, yep. So that was tough. That was tough. I think we made a couple of misplays, but at the end of the day, it worked out for us. Legendary Planeswalker K. And our opponent is going on to play. This one feels okay. Teferi, Narset, ECD. All their spell feels pretty bad right now. I don't think we need more Teferis. I feel like Cry's gonna be pretty big here, if we can land it. Feels like Rakdos aggro or Rakdos sack. Ooh, we're boss. We have one more Cry anyways. And we're not even sure if this is actually Rakdos aggro or Rakdos sack. Because they have Legendary Boss main deck. Doesn't feel like Rakdos aggro to me. Or Rakdos sack to me actually. I mean, as much as I'd want Nicol Bolas, I'm actually curious about their hand. I think we need to know what we're playing up against. Oh, wow. This is actually insane. This is all aggro, or all anti-aggro. We totally could have kept Nicol Bolas and it would have been fine. At least fine, I think. We have one ECD anyway, so I'm just gonna go. they can't actually play any of these anyways, because they don't have a blue source. Now they do. I mean, there's ECD, there's Teferi, the Elder Spell. Really? I think we can just end the game here then, right? The Elder Spell will give us 9. Two loyalty counter on it for each creature destroyed, right? So they get to keep 1 land. Right? That said, like, I wouldn't take away... I mean, I think I'd keep this the way it is, almost. I feel like there will be some sort of graveyard synergy. It's hard to tell. So, because they have Lazav, Ritual could be good, but again, not necessary. They're gonna bring in some aggro against us, so I think the rest is fine. Elder Spell seems fine in this particular deck. Oath of Kaya maybe? Shut down Atris and then Devout Decree. It's hard. Like, we haven't seen too much from them. We saw Ashok, we saw Lazav, we saw a bunch of Tyrant Scorn, which for us doesn't really matter. Presumably they're going to take all those out, but we don't have an aggro plan against them, so I was actually really surprised they didn't take away Elder Spell. Okay, so I mean, we can't play this, we can't play that, we can't play that if they're playing an aggro. Obviously it's going to be Agonizing Remorse. The problem right now is they can go aggro and we might not have anything. We need white source though. One white source would do us pretty good. I mean, that's the last thing I want to do. But we might have to. We're stuck on no lands, right? We're stuck on no land. Bolas is gonna go. ECD is gonna go. That's actually really surprising. I mean, our hand can be very powerful as long as we could pick up our white source or even lands in general. This is really hard for us. Bedevil, Disdainful Stroke. Thought Erasure it is. We're in a really rough spot. We have a bunch of Nicol Bolas. Like the moment we can pick up our white source, we can start get going. But until then, I'm not even sure if I want a white source or black source now. White source will let us use Devout Decree, which can help us dig for the black source. That's a good play. Just hoping there's no counter. Yep. There are 4 things in there. Let them counter 1. Unfortunately, we'll have to let go of Narset here. We have to. And then they'll, in response, bedevil it, which is fine. They didn't. Well, that's fine. Narset's gonna stay there, and then it's gonna get exiled, which is fine. Narset and Teferi? Oh, that feels bad. That feels really bad. Narset and Teferi. There goes my second Bolas. Bolas land. It's really turning out to be terrible for us. Yeah, I don't think we can actually win this. I mean, they got going and we couldn't. We really couldn't get going. They could get going. We were stuck with no mana. No mana. Yeah, most of their things are. I think ACD is still good, so. That was a tough matchup because we got stuck on 3 lands for about 5-6 turns, I think. So we were mana screwed, and they had all the answers throughout the time. So again, unplayable, right? Unplayable. I'm actually gonna keep this, even though it's unplayable, because we have a scry land. Rest, take away my cry, and we're just gonna lose this game because just because. Thank you. You've been great. At least we're not going to be mana screwed this time. Thought Erasure versus 2 cards that are probably lands? Nope, one of them is Narset. Wasabi is fine. Wasabi is just a 1/3. Croxa, interesting. So it's gonna transform into Croxa next turn, eh? Recognizing remorse, please. Lily. We're gonna spend 2 mana turning that thing into Croxa. I will block. See, if this came out last turn, it would have been absolutely fine for me, but Develop Decree, another Lily. I think Develop Decree is good. There's another Lily, we can bring it back with Elspeth Conquers Death. If they play something, right? Or not, or not. That could happen. There goes Atris. There goes Teferi. Teferi's actually okay. So do I get rid of this right now? Or do I get rid of Croxa? I think I get rid of Croxa actually. You get rid of this too. So long it's a okay. Didn't want to give him a good land, right? Could bring back our Atrix. That's unfortunate. Cry won't do because those just bring back their Croxa now. That was a very good top deck. Very good top deck. Do I want Narset or do I want Atris. I think I want Atris. +1/+1. Wow, what could be better than Nicol Bolas? But this could come back next turn, right? I'll pick 2. Okay. Huh. I feel like I should have just ECD'd the Legion War boss instead. Yeah, definitely should have ECD'd. Doesn't really matter. Even though there's no target, I'm just gonna ECD anyways, because we won't get to keep it around. Trying to gain us life. Probably not. Agonizing Remorse is good. We'll bring back Bolas next turn. Teferi being gone is fine. Bring back Bolas. +1/+1 loyalty. We'll have to kill this. And then we'll have to get it away from them. Let's see what they have, right? Nice. That's also very nice. We'll get to, kill this. Interesting, interesting. Good game. That's very unfortunate for us, but they just drew an answer to ours every turn, right? They just drew an answer to all the things that we had, right? Like, basically, they drew better than us. So, it's unfortunate that we lost, but that's how the gameplay goes. This particular matchup, unfortunately, we went 2-2 with this deck, which is not the best result, but you can see how the deck is being played out. In that particular matchup, it was a matter of who drew better top ends, top decks. We're both in top deck mode. There were a couple misplays I made. For instance, playing ECD right away on Legendary Boss instead of Othukaya, those kind of things. So all in all, we could have done better, but you know, luck of the draw is luck of the draw. Variance is a big part of Magic, so that's how it is. But and I'll be back next time with a new deck. See you later.